Welcome back, Phoenix here, and it's time for part 2 of my Dimension ShellShock trailer breakdown. Today's video will primarily focus on all things Usagi, from his moveset, stages, also other cameos from other comics, and more. Let's dive right in. First off, I want to start with a little background information. Originally, we were all told, now I hammered this home personally myself many times prior to the game coming out, just so people wouldn't get their hopes up, that Usagi was solely owned by his creator Stan Sakai, which meant that Tribute needed exclusive permission from him and his team in order to include him in the game, and obviously, Nickelodeon executives' blessing as well. Turns out the Stan Sakai team approached Tribute Games close to the launch of the game last year. As JF Major states, this was a no-brainer. Characters take time, and including Usagi and Shredder's Revenge came with some hurdles, one of which I'm sure was permission to get Usagi included into the game when the team was originally discussing DLC in the first place. Luckily, this obstacle was cleared pretty easily once the Stan Sakai team approached the Tribute team. For the art direction, I need a little bit more context here with what was asked with regards to his design being a bit removed from the Fred Wolf style. Yannick said that the art direction that they chose to take was their personal preference, and they wanted it to feel more like the Stan Sakai original, more samurai-like. Also, Coconut here saying, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm butchering the name, Coconut. If I am, I apologize. We got him here stating that there was a bunch of different tributes from various samurais that went into his design. Also, going back to the CBR article, a similar question was asked. This here I'm actually going to read word for word in its entirety, as I feel this really gets the point across for what Tribute is trying to do. Quote, "Our main reference point was Stan Sakai's original Usagi Yojimbo comics, which have been captivating readers since 1984. While we love the 1987 series, we wanted to pay homage to Sakai's work and capture the essence of his vision for Usagi. We aimed to create a version of the Samurai Rabbit that felt like he walked off the pages of Sakai's comics and seamlessly integrated into our pixelated world. While Usagi is known for his action-packed adventures, we also wanted to capture the quieter, meditative moments that are present in Sakai's storytelling. This posed a unique challenge within the fast-paced gameplay of our game, but we strive to incorporate those aspects into the character's animations, interactions, and overall presence." End quote. A good example of the last sentence here comes from the end of the trailer with Usagi's taunt. It has him taking a nice quick rest, taking a seat, and having a sip on some hot tea. I also tried comparing the comics to the game, comics to the animated series. I really couldn't see too many differences, really. Maybe I just wasn't looking in the right place, or Google just wasn't giving me the right results at the time. I actually think it's probably my lack of knowledge on the character as a whole. Leave a comment down below telling me what you think you see in the differences in the design choices. When it comes to his fighting style and moveset, especially for being a sword wielder like Leo, the team wanted to take a different approach with Usagi, which is going to actually add an extra layer to the combat system. What exactly does this mean? Further explanation by LaFontaine in the CBR article states he's going to be a strong air character, also being the first who has a true double jump. Everyone in the game, as you know, has a actual double jump, but you really don't get much height or anything like that. It does help you avoid, hazards down below you, but it's not a true double jump. You're also limited by the direction that you're currently moving. Usagi is actually going to be able to change direction, so this is going to open up all kinds of things for him that our other heroes can't do. He can avoid other dangers, and he may even be able to start air combos where other characters would just end up doing their dive kicks or their jump attacks. So, we were given a nice short 1-minute trailer for the DLC that shows off the samurai, among other things, but there was a question in Discord that was asked if there's going to be a deeper look or demonstration for the Ronin Rabbit. Major states here that he doesn't know if there's an in-depth look planned for him, but more details are going to be coming soon. Well, that's why I'm here. Let's see what I can divulge from the trailer, starting off with the game's 8th character. I'm going to go over the first scene here pretty quickly, as it's just him jumping out of the portal, and he doesn't move around enough to really figure out anything with regards to his movement speed. Besides the Japanese-inspired stage, we do end up seeing our first cameo in the background on the left, Hamato Koji, a descendant of Master Splinter, who of course is formerly known as Hamato Yoshi. Nice little touch with the rats at his feet as well. Next, let's jump into Usagi putting in work in the Lost Arch Enemy stage. Starting off, we've got Usagi sprinting forward and doing an attack, it looks like with his palm, and then he does his rising attack, bringing himself and the enemies up into the air with him. While in the air, we get a good look at his aerial maneuvers, a 3-hit combo. The first 2 hit the enemies that are up in the air with him, and then during his descent, the 3rd hit, he does a full circular swing with his katana that not only hits those that are in the air with him, but those that are below and even behind where he swings. It's hard to see with his character portrait in the way, but he does indeed hit that second foot soldier who is a little further away. The second part of his attack string on the ground here shows his standard 4-hit combo. His attacks come out very quickly with, it seems to be a similar speed to Raph or Leo, I'd like to say. At one point, it actually looks like he uses not just his sword, but also his sheath as a weapon that could also hit enemies behind him. I don't actually feel like that's the case here. That just might be part of the animation. Although some games have done that. Other samurais, they use their sheath, so why not here? But I don't think he actually does. The end of the string, he actually does his standing super, which happens to be a launcher. Judging from what I see, though, as the enemies are launched in the air, they're not going to go straight up. It may be more of a comb or even a little bit of a vacuum effect. As you can see, the 2 pizza monsters and the 1 foot soldier, as they're launched up in the air, they kind of move a little bit closer to Usagi. This, I would assume, is to ensure that you actually can do a follow-up and do another air combo. Something like this is going to be very useful on higher difficulties, or if you happen to have the dip switches set in arcade mode, they're going to make the enemies a little bit tougher. This next clip is going to be a quick one, as there really isn't much to show, and the actual part of the video in the trailer is very, very short as well. Here we've got Usagi doing his standing super, launching 2 foot soldiers up in the air, and we also get another look at the 3-string combo while he's up there. The next clip, however, it's showing his dodge super, which is a screen clearer. He goes from one end almost all the way to the other. Even at the end of the animation, as he's starting to slow down, he happens to hit that second to last foot soldier that's coming in off screen. I'm not sure if the animation ends or the hitboxes don't connect when the one that's jump kicking comes into frame and he actually doesn't get hit. There's also a carrot that comes into view here as he darts across, which eventually separates into pieces. Basically, he's so vast he can cut up the carrot and the foot soldiers all at once. I'm not sure if there's any significance to that, or it might just be a nice little animation touch there that the team happened to throw in. We also get an alternate look at the Japanese-inspired stage from earlier, which is quite nice, so things will be changing up, won't get too stale. We also are greeted with 2 more cameos, Ninjara and Shenkan, both coming from the TMNT Adventures comic line. We've also got 3 white apes behind a rock that, they weren't originally there on the Hamato Koji stage, but I have no idea if this is a reference or just a design change for the stage to make it a little bit more lively. The last stage I'm going to cover that has something of significance is Usagi fighting with Splinter in Technodrome Redux. The last hit of his combo here seems to also launch the Rock Soldier up in the air, albeit not as high when he does his super. The interesting thing to point out here is that when he does his rising attack, he takes 1 swing with his sword, but then he appears to do his rising attack animation again. However, he doesn't really rise up too much. This is different than the 3-hit combos in the air that we happened to see earlier. Knowing he has a true double jump, I wonder if this means he can actually do a reset in mid-air and string together another 3-hit aerial combo. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Lastly, to wrap this up, the last bit of combat is just the turtles and Usagi doing their spinning pizza power attacks, so you get a quick look at what Usagi is going to look like when he grabs that power up. We've also got a single screenshot here from the Dimension ShellShock DLC page showing off another stage during a cold wintry night on a bridge in front of a Shinto shrine. Various weapons scattered about, there's some scratch marks in the tree bark. There's also something on the rocks in the background too, maybe something to honor somebody. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but there's something there. We've also got another cameo from the Archie comic series, the Saudi Arabian Falcon named Alfalka, I want to say. I think that's how you say Alfalka. Not really sure. Finally, I'll end it with Usagi's taunt, which is him wanting to sit down for a quick breather and have some hot tea. That's going to do it for part 2 of the Dimension ShellShock trailer breakdown. More Shredder's Revenge videos are on the way. We just got another trailer showing off more details for the new game mode, and I happen to be right, it was survival. There's also an 11-minute video done once again by PlayStation Underground that I'm going to be taking a look into as well for all of you. Maybe there's some more nuances to Usagi in there as well, not really sure. There's more information on Discord that's not found anywhere else. There's a lot of work to do. I gotta get cracking. Like, comment, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any Shredder's Revenge information, as well as anything that's indie game or retro game related. I'll catch you guys in the next one.